Welcome to Spotlight on the Arts. Hi, good evening. I'm Iris Acker, and our show today is titled Religion and Music. And before we meet our guests, I'd like you to meet the panel. Michael McKeever, playwright and actor, and award-winning actress Karen Stevens, and that's the truth. And we'll give him an award.
I have awards.
You have awards
yes.
too. An award-winning Bill Hirschman, arts journalist and critic. And our guest today, this is a very special program. As I said, it's titled Music and Religion. And our guests are Rabbi Marc Labowitz and his beautiful, lovely wife, Paulina. Why is music so important in religion?
Iris, my first answer would be, why not?
Oh, well.
And I'll tell you the reason why I say that is because the first temple had musicians. The first form of worship, music was there, trumpets. The prototypical instrument is the shofar, the wind instrument. And truth be told, it ties back to, and everyone can understand this because everyone shares the Psalms among the Judeo-Christian faiths, that King David was referred to as the Yodea Nagain, the one who knew music. And even prophets, before they would prophesy, they would say, bring in the musicians. Not only is music important to religion, but it was a part of our prophetic heritage and ritual altogether. So there's so many ways in which music is tied to religion. And today, the most major rabbinic colleges are teaching guitar because they see, based on the man who you mentioned earlier, Bill, Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach, of blessed memory, who was a great influence on my life and my family and friends with my family and I. He is the reason why so many rabbis need to play music these days.
Do you think that there is, obviously, having music enhances the experience of being in synagogue, but are there spiritual roots that you see where music isn't just simply an add-on, but an endemic part of what's going on?
Absolutely. It's in the language of music. How do we say music in Hebrew? We say zamer. Zamer actually means to cut. Music is an interruption, right? But what does it mean to interrupt? It means to punctuate. It means to highlight. That there are three ways in which religion is a part of our lives. Number one, rhythm, right? Number two, harmony. It harmonizes your life. And number three, it is an interruption. Sabbath. What is Sabbath? Sabbath is the day that everything stops. As a matter of fact, if at Sabbath services you don't feel, even just momentarily, that your life is on hold and you are engaged completely in the spiritual, then it might be time to look for another Sabbath service.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? And so music is integral to that experience, and it's written to the language of music. I can go on forever.
Well, let's talk to Paulina for a minute. Paulina sings and plays what musical instruments?
She's the musician in the family.
I play upright bass. I study in the conservatory, and I came to the United States to play. Every musician dreams of playing in this country.
And you do it every service.
I do it every service, and I'm
It's a lovely, do you call it a band, an ensemble, an orchestra? What do we have?
We call it an orchestra because of her, because she was playing in an orchestra and I couldn't get her to play with us in my little Pitzela band. And so I said to her, well, what if we call it an orchestra and we get some other, instruments? So we got a violinist. I think we had two violinists. We have a couple of wind instruments. We have got a couple of guitarists. We have percussion. We have bass, everything. It's wonderful.
Not only for singing, but for dancing as well. Yes. My favorite services start usually with Rabbi Marc saying, everybody up, come on, let's, and we dance all around the room. as much as we can. We do, we manage very much. It's a very important part. That's music. And drumming. Why drumming, which I love, but why drumming?
Drumming is also a part of our roots. As a matter of fact, it was one of the only instruments allowed at certain rituals in the times of the Holy Temple. I think you could hear the drum mostly because it also helped to
It raises the energy it raises everybody's energy at the same level. That's why drums are always good.
All I know is I love it. It's infectious. It's infectious.
Yeah, it's one of the first instruments, actually, and it's very integral to ritual and the practice of, spirituality and ritual, and has been since the beginning of mankind.
So,
Yes?
I should say that,
yes,
first of all, you come from a rabbinical family.
yes,
So let's go back. Great-grandfather,
yes,
grandfather,
yes,
father,
and mother.
and your mother.
Yes, yes,
I love I said that. I love it that she is as well.
yes.
And you all have such beautiful voices. And maybe that's what we should hear, a little bit of music. Now, before we do, you told me before, you were so modest you didn't want to say it, but I insist you talk about, because you're a composer. And you've composed many songs, but this one particular song that you composed, you entered into what?
We entered into Shalshelet, which is it's, I believe, the only Jewish liturgical music festival. And from what our manager, Maria Dasko, what she tells me is that there are thousands of entries. And we entered, and I think they picked 13 people out of thousands around the world. We entered 3 songs, one of which is sort of the, it's the mission statement of our community, and so it means a lot to us, this one piece that we'll play for you now.
And you won.
We won.
You forgot to mention that.
Yes.
You
Bravo,
won
well done.
500 entries.
And this is the song that you're going to be playing now?
Yes. Yes.
Very good, excellent.
So should we hear the winner?
Yeah.
Is that the song? You're going to do a duet?
Oh, everything we do is a duet.
Everything we do, whether you want to or not.
No, I want to. So let me explain the song before I sing it. The words are Ohev Yamim. It comes from the Psalms. Most of our music comes from the Psalms. It was our first form of vocal prayer. And so I put 2 sentences together. I took the end of one sentence of the psalm, and I joined it to the sentence following, because I felt the ideas needed to go together. And it's a translation that is mystical and a little bit loose, but holy all the same. So it's Ohev Yamim, which can be translated, love your time here. And then Lirot Tov, which means to see the good. And Nitzur Leshoncha, which means to care for your words, because it is your words that form the landscape of your life. And it's not just a New Age idea, it's a fundamental Jewish and religious principle. Ohev Yamim, Lirot Tov, Nitzur Leshoncha. Love your time here, see the good, care for your words now, they make your world la 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 la. your time here. See the good. Care for your words.
It's lovely.
It's
And each of
beautiful.
the songs that you have composed, has a message, I guess. Is it a, I hate to use the word, but educational as well. That's what it is.
Insight provoking. I hope
Insight.
that people, most of the songs are one or two lines that are repetitive, so that it takes you to a place that is beyond the analytical mind, so that that's where insights are born, and most mundane thinking stops. And I'm very lucky to have married a beautiful woman who's also, a singer and a composer as well. I think the first time I wrote something, we were sitting down at a table that we still have that was bought by our community for us for our wedding, and what was it? She was playing, I think C and C major, which that's the last major chord we ever used in any song, and because all the Jewish chords are minor, they have to be terribly sad, so in order to be uplifting. So she was playing, and then I was praying. We wear phylacteries, prayer wraps to fill in, and so as I'm praying, I'm listening to these chords, and I just started singing this prayer that we were. That was how it happened. It was just really natural and organic, to use words that are overused these days.
I love it. We never mentioned, I'm sorry, the temple's name or anything. I'd like you to say temple. Temple
Adath Or. It is our acronym is or our moniker is TAO.
TAO, yes.
Yes.
But what I like is it's the South Florida Center for Jewish Renewal.
Yeah.
It's it says embark on a spiritual journey into your Jewish soul. And how do you do that? With music.
Yes.
With music, with
Yes.
music, with music. Now, I say it's a fairly young congregation.
Yes.
Considering, and that's what drew me to it, especially because there's another thing that it's not a mission, one which you hold people in your hands, not books.
Yes. Yeah,
I love that.
Yes.
I just love that. So
that's also, I must say that's also a Shlomo Carlebach influenced tradition, that we hold each other when we pray, and there were people who were coming and didn't know the liturgy, and so we decided to take the liturgical pieces and project them onto the wall via a projector, and now we can hold each other and have a virtual prayer book. And so there is someone there, it's either Anne or Janae or someone, a volunteer, who operates the virtual siddur, the virtual prayer book. And it's really remarkable, so that we can hold each other and not just prayer books.
Yeah,
Well,
hold each other.
You know all the taglines.
Well, I love them. That's why. I mean, for me,
Iris is with us. She prays with us and dances with us. And
it's a
I
tremendous every
energy.
time. I can't sit. I love it. That's so
tremendous
important. Anyway, I lost my place. I got a compliment. I don't know where I am. I was just saying that the choir and your daughter, you have a daughter and two sons, but whenever I speak to her, I say, so what are you going to do? What are you going to be? And what do you think the answer is? She's going to be a rabbi.
Yeah.
There you go.
With a magnificent voice,
Yes.
also. She's just the whole family sings. You have your own choir.
Yeah. We're like the Jewish Partridge Family.
Did you always study music in your home country?
Since I was little,
Yeah?
in Costa Rica.
So that was always your intent, is to be a
Yes,
musician.
yes, absolutely.
When you compose, do you always write together or sometimes separately? How does that work?
Sometimes he even writes with my daughter. They write songs together too.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm always curious when I travel, and I don't go to lots of different synagogues and different temples, but when I do, it always amazes me that the liturgical music seems to change, at least the melodies change, from congregation to congregation. When I was growing up, it was obviously in the same congregation, and I would hear the same melodies and the same intonations. And now I go visit, like my sister in North Carolina, and it's completely different. And I'll go to another one in another place, and it's completely different. And why is that? Why are the melodies change from congregation to congregation?
You know, my brother, who's also a rabbi, Rabbi Marc Labowitz, he said to me once that, and this is when he was producing music, he said that the music of a community is their strength. And so what you have these days, and I believe it's certainly captured in the renewal movement, is we're throwing off the shackles of how, of the antiquated approach to prayer. And so once we're free of what prayer should be, we can embrace what prayer could be and what prayer is today. And if you have spiritual leaders who are all embracing this individually and collectively around the world, you'll have many different compositions and also flavors and accents. You know, there's, depending on where that community is. It's always been that way with religion and with music, that we rub up against the culture, and it shows as a marriage in music.
Does that mean you're going to have hip hop in the synagogue soon? No, that was just a joke. That was just a joke.
There is a hip hop merengue Jewish song. Remember?
Well, actually, there's also a artist, Matisyahu.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
I guess that wasn't such a far-fetched thing.
Well, we were on the East Coast.
No, it's really wonderful. And your duties that take you, like a doctor, it hurts you to turn your cell phone off because you might be needed. You attend the sick and the grieving. Do you use music there as well?
Oh, good question. What a good question. So the first thing that came to me is a vision of my family and I. We commit to ending the evening every night, if we can, sitting around together in our little space and playing music. And often what we'll do is we will play pieces, songs, prayers that then can be played with the infirm at a hospital, so that when I go with my children to visit someone in the hospital, that we can, there's, not only are we singing a song that we've rehearsed, but it has become a part of our own prayer, so that now we can play it and make it a part of the prayer for someone else. And so yes, often when I visit someone in a hospital and I can take one of my family members with me, we will sing a piece that's appropriate for that.
That makes the power of that music, that song, that much more powerful, I would think. The fact that it comes from you, from your family.
Yes.
Powerful, I like that. I like that expression.
And one of my teachers, Rabbi Michael Shapiro, he used to do that too. He used to go around to hospitals and play music. And we were inspired just a couple of summers ago in Israel. We stayed there for the summer doing volunteer work, and I went with my children to hospitals around Israel, especially around the Netanya area, Laniado Hospital specifically, and we played music for the infirmed and those people that were on dialysis as well, or just, in sick beds.
Do you travel with your guitar?
Oh, yes.
Yes, if he said, oh, yes.
Yes.
Paulina doesn't take her musical
don't.
instrument, which I love. I'd love to hear one other song. Can we impose upon you to sing another song?
Sure.
Also, you have CDs you've made.
Yes.
I know that too, yes,
Yes.
which is wonderful. I mean,
Yeah, there's gonna be one soon for release. They call
Yes.
Kara CD, but it's still in touch-ups.
We name all of our CDs after our children, so each one has the name of
isn't
a
that
child.
Nice.
I wanna sing a happy song.
Yeah. Any recommendation?
You can sing that one.
because these pieces are also educational, I thought maybe I would teach you a song. And because you're all performers, it shouldn't be tough to get you out of the box just for a second, even the critics. So this is the source Hebrew prayer. This is our central prayer. It is, repeat after me, Shema,
Shema.
Yisrael,
Yisrael.
Yah or Ka,
Yah,
Elokeinu,
Elokeinu.
Ka,
Ka.
Echad.
Echad.
And what this means, we just got the 5-minute cue. Again, this is like a 6-minute song there. So what it means is here, you know, if we're talking about music, we also must talk about the most noble organ that we have, which is the ear. And it says, "Hear Israel." And Israel doesn't just mean a country. It means anyone and everyone who is engaged in the dance with God. And hear Israel, that God, our God, the God, whatever image of God you have, is one. So it's a little call and response. It's very simple to follow. I hope you will.
She's the singer. Yeah. I'll nod.
Shema Yisrael,
Shema
Yah Elokeinu. Let me hear you.
Yah Elokeinu,
Yah One more time, Shema Yisrael,
Shema Yisrael,
Yah Elokeinu,
Yah Elokeinu,
Let me hear you. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto. How many minutes we got? Let me hear it. Come on, Bill. Yah Elokeinu. Yah Elokeinu.
Beautiful.
Wasn't
That was
lovely?
wonderful.
I just love it.
That was so
You know,
good.
with every guest, do we have a website?
Yes, we do.
Well, I think let's bring it up.
www.taocenter.net and also www.rabbimarclabowitz.something, and then also www.taoorchestra, because the name of our orchestra is the TAO Orchestra.
Well, we'll bring it all up on the screen. You're not going to believe this, but I mean, the half hour is up. That's it. We have to say goodbye. But now, okay.
nice to meet you.
So
It was a pleasure
it was
meeting
just
both of
wonderful.
you.
Really a marvelous experience. But the temple is in Fort Lauderdale. I'm doing a promotion, but we do the same for theaters.
God
That
bless you.
anybody who's interested in Fort Lauderdale, very convenient.
We're in Fort Lauderdale, but also we're in Duncan.
Oh,
at
yes.
Delray. We're all over. We have
forgot.
services in Fort Lauderdale, Davie, Delray, and in Miami.
Right. And again, we thank Rabbi Marc and Paulina for being with us today. As I thank you, I hope you found this very spiritual. I do. Every time that I'm here and I hear that music, I just want to thank you for watching us and for joining us every week. I'm just assuming that you do, and this is what helps you tune in. And I want you not only to enjoy music, perhaps at your temples, but at the theater. So I always encourage you, please go to the theater, and to find out what's playing, just go to floridatheateronstage.com. Join us again next week. Thank you.
Liros Netzol Lishoncha. Love your time